But it is like people who are racist will be like, eggs are too expensive. I don't make enough money at my job at Amazon. Trans people. Like, what?
Good boys. La la la. La la la. Good boys.
Dolls and guys.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because none of us look like either.
Or both. You all look
Or
like
both. Yeah. I don't know if I'm the doll or the guy.
That's part of your attraction. I want to start a comedy show and call it Warts.
Mm.
I think that's a good name for a...
I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Here's one we came up with too. Bug Light.
Would you spell it Lite?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Buglite.
That's way better than Dolls and Guys.
I know, but that would be for a good for a normal improv group. But musical, you want to let them know that you're musical in the name.
Oh, that
Right?
makes sense. So back when I interned at the Magnet Theater,
Mm-hmm.
they have a Megawatt Night and the musical Megawatt Night the next night.
Yeah.
And my cousins were in town, and so they came to I was like, I'm gonna go do this. They had he worked during the day. I can't remember what it was, but they came to see one show,
Mm-hmm.
and then we left when I was done. They came to see the last show,
Mm.
and the term he used that I agreed with was it was just so delighted. Everybody in that room was so delighted to be there. Everybody on stage was so delighted it made me sick. Was what he said. Because it's such a we're doing it, guys.
Yeah.
I feel that way about musical improv.
I don't know. Every musical improv show I see, I go in with kind of like a skeptic's eye.
Yeah.
And then by the end, I'm grinning ear to ear. I'm blushing. I'm standing.
Yeah,
I'm
no matter
clapping.
what.
I love it.
Have you gone to see Hell Yeah?
No.
They're-
Hell no.
They're good. They're at the Pit.
Okay.
They're friends of mine. I've done straight improv with them. You know, the not singing kind. I don't. Is it what would you?
Fair.
Well, I don't want to say regular improv because it's not. They're both regular. I don't want to make it normative.
Just like long form classic. Maybe classic improv.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have to say I was at Taco Bell right before this, and I thought of you because I've never been more glad that you weren't with me.
Why?
Because a deaf woman came in and was trying to order from the worker who barely spoke any English for the whole time I was in there. Phonating.
And you knew I wouldn't
And
be
I
able
was
to
just
not
like,
laugh.
yes. I was just like, thank my lucky stars that Max is not in here to hear this woman try to say number 8. I know, it was really...
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
They don't figure out how to point? Is that...
There was a lot going on. There was writing down involved. There was showing of phones. She was and she was very impatient. And I'm like, I don't think you get to be impatient.
You don't get both.
You know?
Yeah.
And I guess maybe I would be very impatient too if I spent my life trying to communicate things and it was very hard.
Oh,
but
well, she should learn Spanish Sign Language then. Okay?
Well,
Maybe she's the intolerant.
it's really that she came in at a 9 out of 10. She was hungry, I guess. I was just saving that little anecdote for
Yeah,
20
you.
minutes.
I'm glad you shared it with me. That's so good. I'm gonna open this window. I'm hot. We can keep going, but I'm hot.
Okay.
We can't keep going. I don't know how to get over there. We are not on a glamorous set. This is a bedroom in my apartment with a bed against the wall and the dresser over there.
Yeah.
I would
Little
just sweat.
peek behind the
Yeah,
curtain.
you get to see me melt for the next
You could
hour.
take your sweater off.
I think my belly's gonna show.
A lot?
I don't know.
Bwomp, 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 bwomp. Bwomp, 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 bwomp. Well, that was disappointing.
I unfortunately was in Brooklyn again yesterday, Williamsburg.
Okay.
I've learned I don't belong there. We were all pretty sure of that, but we were there, and within 10 minutes, the group I was with...
Was all like, help, monster!
Worse. She goes... No, it was some recent college.
I love, sorry to
No.
interrupt, but I love how we just talked for 20 minutes about potentially cancelable things, and then we come in here and make ableist and fat jokes. We're like, but let's put this out into the world. Sorry, continue.
It's all right. It's a bunch of theater kids, and one of the girls, women, I don't know, she goes, within 10 minutes of us being in this room, goes, talking about film and her favorite film, top 10 film for her, some Oscar nom from a couple years ago that is 90 minutes long with no dialogue. She was 10 minutes into your godforsaken burrow, and some white woman is telling me about a 90-minute feature film I got to watch where no dialogue happens. It's just beautiful story about platonic love and about how when you grow up, you got to let people go, and that's okay, and sometimes people change. And I just looked at her. I was like...
I would have been like, I like Jurassic Park.
Well, I said to her, I was like, I never come to... I'm 6 months. I stay away from Brooklyn. Like, I'm never here. I'm here, and 10 minutes in, you're telling me about this movie that has no dialogue? No notes. You're perfect. You are exactly what I needed when I came here. And it got me thinking about had I met this girl before I was in a relationship, like who I was before I was in this thing now. And I just looked at her for a second. I was like, I really would have let you emotionally destroy me for 6 to 8 months.
Really?
Like, just there's something in my, like, small town, played sports, but kind of always wanted to do music and theater. So there's you know what I mean? There's like a longing there. There's an insecurity. I'm like, but she got fucking tattoos or piercings I haven't seen. I'm just like,
right.
I would have let you absolutely dog walk me.
That's so funny.
And embarrass me for like 8 months.
I'm not that way with those kind of hipster people at all.
It's because you would be attracted to yourself. What are you talking about?
Yeah, except I think I'm self-aware that I have terrible taste.
Yeah, that helps a lot to know I want X or Y and it's bad for me.
Well, but it's also like I'm not telling people about a movie with no dialogue, but I would be telling people about some sort of like animated movie from 2013 that no one's ever heard. I guess I'll manipulate
for 6 to 8 months take care of that.
Sure, we said we'd do this for 6 months. What do you think's happening? I'm trying to ruin you, buddy.
Just editing clips, sending out only incendiary stuff I say, just trying to get people mad at me. No, it was weird to look at that, and I had in no corner of my heart was I like, oh, that would be like, this would be cool. You know what I mean? Like, no part of me was lecherous or interested. I'm very happy in my relationship, but I was like, seeing the reflection of who I used to be was so embarrassing to just look at her and be like, because current day I was just thinking, shut the fuck up. And I can't imagine friends who had to hear me talk about that kind of woman.
Right.
And
you being like, she's so special.
Like, look, she just sees things a little different, and we really click on this.
But she doesn't hear them.
But I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever been a guy who had a type,
Okay.
Not in a like, I ain't got no type. Could we be super pro woman real quick? Is that our pivot?
I'll allow it once.
To just, I don't have a type. Like, I think everything's beautiful, and like, it's more what's on the inside than outside. The guys that do that to try. Have you seen those? The like trying to get pussy podcasters that are like,
sure,
just so
like
pro-woman?
pick me men.
Yeah, they're the best. They're hilarious. But to not be them, I'm saying.
And the only one who truly is John Cena. He is. Have you seen the interview with him where the guy's like, "Would you date a fat chick?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, I'd date a fat chick. Like, I prefer it or whatever." And
that's awesome.
He's like, he said something like, "Recently, I was with someone 280," or said like names the weight of the woman that he fucked or whatever. And I'm like, that's how you do it, fellas.
John Cena.
Literally,
he's our unproblematic.
He needs a challenge.
Have you never? I mean, that's an old, like, she ain't 280, she ain't a lady. Have you never heard that before?
No.
That's a horrifying rhyme I heard a lot growing up. I don't know who the type would be, but it was so crystallized for me at a point in my life that was your type. Me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like in that 1 year, I could have like really gone for it. Do you have anything like that, or like do you have a history? I mean, obviously, big titty Latinas are what you're into, but outside of that,
big titty goth Latinas mostly. I don't think I have a type really. I feel like my type is like second hottest person in the room.
Oh, I like that.
Or maybe just like someone.
So you like yourself in this room, huh? Cool.
That was
I like
good.
that you got
good
ego.
I think I like a normal looking person. Like if there's some like hot like god looking person, I'm never like thirsting over that person. but
Yeah.
like some kind of I guess it's called guy next door, like a mailman or something like that. I'm like, auga.
Someone who's like in the yearbook, not on the yearbook, that kind of thing.
What?
I was just thinking about that's dumb. I was just thinking about like if you were putting them in a magazine, right? You wouldn't be on the cover. But like, yeah, you'd sell shirts with that face.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Is that consistent? Like, has it always been that?
I think so.
I have one of my best friends is a UPS driver, so basically a mailman, and I will make sure to forward that to him. He's he's like my hottest friend too.
Oh, really?
Like just big time bodybuilder and yeah. Anyway, he loves that shit. He loves the short shorts, UPS guy and the short browns. Oh, dude, he back in Columbus will be on the short north, which is their like hip part of town. Be like, oh, it's cold out. I'm still wearing the short shorts. I'm strutting these thighs.
That's so funny. I love that. But I'm trying to think like what would my type be? Because if I go through the Rolodex of people I've dated or been with or whatever, not a lot like just lines up.
Yeah, what is your like number of relationships you would count? And I know it's fluid, but lots of fluid involved. But I mean, like, are you looking?
I told you about
20?
my piss kink in private.
Yeah, but it's not. They'll accept you. That's not cancelable.
It is kind of complicated. I dated this guy in high school, but he was in the closet, so it was kind of secretive. But that was like definitely my first love. And then I had a weird friendship.
Okay, so fuckboy, first fuckboy in your life.
I guess so. Narcissist. Truly, I look back at everything being like, how was I so stupid?
I think that
I was
is,
impressionable.
Like, actual growth. That's what I'm saying with this fucking girl I saw in Brooklyn. It's like, you idiot. How do you not see from a mile away how bad that was?
Yeah. I don't want to drop too many details, but giving unemployed, live with his parents. Anyway,
Hey,
we got to cut that because we got to cut that. I'm sorry. And then also, then I dated this guy post-COVID, and that was my first like more adult relationship. So I guess this is kind of my fourth, but really feels like my second.
Interesting. Yeah, I would say I've had two big ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two real ones, but I had this weird memory hit when you just talking about that. And this, I'm happy to embarrass this woman. I'm pretty good at embarrassing exes. Don't be vulnerable with me unless you know we're gonna last, I guess. But there was this girl. There were two girls. It was weird in high school. I haven't thought about this in forever. And they were so.
I'm already blushing, and I don't know why.
Just two. What's happened with two?
There
of
was
them?
two girls.
No, there were two girls who like went to different schools than me, and it was kind of the athletes from the different schools kind of knew each other because you played ball, and some people would like hang out in the summer and fish or whatever it was, right? And this girl from one high school basically went from dating one of my friends to another friend to another friend to me making out with her. Never dated, but like I was like, bring on them sloppy fourths, let's do it. But then another girl followed the same pattern.
Whoa.
Went from the one I didn't really know or a guy at my school to a guy I didn't really know at another school to my neighbor to me. And that one I dated for a little bit, and she was like a freshman when I was a junior maybe.
Okay.
And she would have been 14, I was 16, 15, 16. Like we were in comparable age range, but she was a little bit younger. And we went on I'm not saying that was so embarrassing, but we went.
Can you say it, but then
Fine,
cut it
I'll
because
say
I
it.
want to know.
We were like going on a date. I borrowed my mom's car because it was nice and it was bigger. Our song was Elton John's. I guess that's why they call it the blues, because we could never see each other. We went to different high schools. Yeah, dude, so bad. And then
I love how you'll say the R slur, but you won't say that.
what?
That you had a romantic moment with a woman.
Oh, no, I see. No. I think that was.
You're like, I can't say it on mic.
Well, it was anyway.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just think that's super F slurred. Like to that be our song. That's so bad. As a 16-year-old in Ohio, I'd be like, listen to this Elton John song from '82. It really describes. That's what I didn't want to embarrass myself about.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, that's so. Hey, listen to the Rocket Man, baby. He'll get you in the mood
But
for
I
us.
feel like gay people aren't even like Elton John is more to middle-aged women than he is to actual gay people.
You guys don't even claim him anymore. It's too.
He's
too out
basically a
there.
middle-aged woman. I guess an old woman.
Yeah. Well, so we go to a movie, and then on the way back, she told me I want to get into this on gay dating.
Okay.
She like, quote unquote, wanted to give me her virginity. That was like a big deal to her. We'd been dating for 3 weeks, which is huge red flag because I'm like, there's little jokes about how clingy people get, and women have a different thing with virginity than men, obviously.
Yeah.
But was that like is that a big consideration in the gay community? Like, for young gay guys to be like, well, this is going to be the first one. This needs to be really special in the same kind of area.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
It would make sense to me either way. You could tell me that, like, yeah, no shit, it's for somebody with sex, it's important. And you guys tell me, like, no, we just fuck. And, you know what I mean? I could see either one being pretty acceptable.
I think it's less of a gendered thing and more of just, like, a young person thing where it's, like, you don't know what it is until it happens, really. So it's just, like, pressure in that regard. But I don't think anyone in society is pressured about their virginity as much as young women.
No.
So it would never be a parallel.
But I do think it's actually a curve, probably. I think starting around 35, 40, men probably get it pretty fucking
It's the
hard.
opposite.
Yeah. Women start to be like, all right, well, I guess it's not going to happen for me. And men are like, it's not going to happen for me.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, that was my embarrassing junior year of high school relationship that lasted for not very long. I was like, I'm going to slowly step away and see
So
why
did you
everybody
take her
stopped.
virginity as a gift to you?
It was more of a no. I'm not even making that joke. No, I did not.
It was more of a curse. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, it was more of a, I just took it. That was going to be the joke. But you
terrible.
asked, yeah, more of a price, really.
Sure.
But no, I just that was too much. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
that is a lot.
just like fade away. I was like, I see why.
You just said I'm bi. Good.
How do
boys.
we stop doing this? Oh, yeah, it was good. All right, can I tell you about the book?
Sure.
Just read Bob Odenkirk's autobiography.
Mm-hmm.
Comedy, drama. So good. So funny. Did you watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and all that?
No.
There's a great... I didn't either, but I know the broad beats because in stand-up you hear everything and you watch clips. You know what I mean? But there's one of the main antagonists' name is Gus.
Okay.
And he gets in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Odenkirk does. He plays a lawyer, and he's learning his lines in the trailer, and he looks at Bryan Cranston and goes, so Gus is your friend? And he's like, you've never watched the show you're on, have you? Because he came in season 2.
Oh.
So anyway, it's funny if you know who Gus is and that, I guess. But it's like the main antagonist.
I didn't quite follow.
It doesn't matter. I actually don't care. I was just going to share a laugh that my roommate and I were having it. That's a very funny, like, he didn't know who the main antagonist of his own show was. And looked at the main character and was like, hey, how should I read this line? Like, you guys are buddies, right?
I see. I see.
But there's something I've read a lot of comedian autobiographies, right? A lot more like theater actors and improv people, and their story is so much better to me. I don't know how to relate to these stand-up people, even though that's my primary art form, because it feels like the mechanisms there have changed so much.
Okay.
Like we were talking about this, that a open mic makes no sense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you ever do 5 minutes? The whole reason for that is to get on Johnny Carson, because that can make your career.
Right.
Or can make you have a TV show, whatever, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Nowadays, 5 minutes is like too long for a TikTok and too short for a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 minutes doesn't really do anything for you. It's kind of an archaic amount of time.
I see what you mean.
So open mics don't feel like shows at all. You're working jokes out and you get some response at certain mics. Like there is value to it. But when I read these like improvisers or these sketch people talk about putting on shows for 2 people, and it's kind of like it's also cool to go see theater, and it is not saturated the same way stand-up is.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the city you can go to a club.
Yeah.
But like starting out, when we did Poke the Bear, nobody came to our sketch show. Not a single person. And that
except my boyfriend
and my roommate. Like, but I mean, like, no, we didn't get any audience. We didn't do a great job promoting. But like your musical, you did your promo. People came because they want to see new theater. It's really hard to get people to go see a stand-up show that's not at a club.
Yeah.
Unless there's some thing, some draw. But just him talking about like, they were putting up sketches all the time. They did alternative comedy nights all the time. Before, did you ever see Mr. Show with Bob and David?
No, I really want to because of Paul F. Tompkins, though.
Yeah, it's on HBO. That's where it was, so you can see it on Max.
Okay, I don't have that.
Oh, you can have ours.
Yay!
Piracy. But they basically, to make the show, they wanted to do the whole like live sketch into video, back into live, back in right, like tie everything up together. So for every month they'd put a new show out, and it'd be like a cool hip kind of thing, where they would book it out and fill it up, and then they do a whole new show the next month, and they made it an event. And I don't know, I just keep reading this thing about how like it's a thing where people want to see new theater, where audiences are excited and interested in new things, and I just don't feel that way for stand-up. You have to justify why they're giving you the time.
Sure.
And I hate that.
I would say that might be true for indie theater, although I don't know, it's kind of not also. But for any sort of like marketable theater, there's no one's taking a chance on IP in any regard nowadays. So like any Broadway show is going to be like a Disney movie turned into a musical for the stage because there's no risk on that investment in any way. So any sort of like commercial theater, there is absolutely no creativity. So maybe in the indie theater scene, and maybe that's why people are craving it so much and craving that kind of like salacious underground feeling, is because everything that's commercial is so commercial. Yeah, for kids and families, and very tame and no risk. And not to say that those productions can't be beautiful. I saw Aladdin, cried. It was so good.
Yeah, I 100% am for seeing the commercial stuff. I just think that like I had this thought of, it feels like that the boundary between audience and performer in the community in stand-up is very hard. You either do stand-up or you don't, right? Or you did it maybe once when you were younger, but you love it now, right? And in theater, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like some of the people who want to see the cool new stuff are also like, yeah, I acted in college, but now I'm an arts admin. Or, yeah, I'm a costume designer for my friend's stuff, but I still go, right? Like, it feels like there's this, the cutting edge has more, like, artists in it to go see. So then it's easier to get a real audience because, like, that it is representative of who's going to buy your tickets,
Yeah. The show I did last year, I had many people be like, I never come see theater shows, but my girlfriend told me about this and it sounded like it would actually be fun. Yeah. Isn't
that funny how that's the bar? It's fun. Like, is this thing going to be fun to watch or not?
Well, that's what I say all the time. I'm not interested in making art that's not entertaining.
Yeah.
I had many conversations with this old theater company I used to work with about, like, why are we making this art that is so self-serving and so about the artist? I'm trying to make art for the audience.
I have no interest in writing or being in anything that's about an actor or a writer.
Oh, God.
Or stand up.
It's on my list. No being haunted by the ghost of Shakespeare. I've seen like 20 plays about someone being haunted by the ghost of Shakespeare, and I'm like, that is so like
that was such a hard, I've never seen that before. I'm not enthralled in theater and immersed in it, and you're like, no to that.
No more, please. You are not significant enough to be haunted by Shakespeare's ghost, I promise you.
That's great. Your first play, yeah. The Bard. I think this guy really won't leave me alone.
Oh my God. Also, no more plays about the Civil War. Or no more plays about the Civil War with any white people in it. I would go see one with all black people, but no plays about the Civil War with all white people. Or any white people, I mean.
Just no plays with white people. Just no more.
Amen.
Have you seen the Key and Peele sketch about Civil War reenactors?
No.
They go out as slave reenactors to go to the Confederate side to just
be
like, oh, yeah, yes, massa, I'll go what you say. And these guys are like, no, we're just here to tell history. Like,
That's
we're
really
making the
good.
history. Yeah,
I love that.
It's an incredible sketch. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I went to a short play festival last week. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah. Look at me, dude.
You're cultured.
I am getting cultured.
Life is in color again.
It was 7 short play. Dude, it's I'll name it. I don't care. The Queen's Short Play Festival. There's 8 heats. So it's a competition show.
Okay.
Where each night will have 7 to 8 shows, and each night happens 4 times, and there's 8 nights. Mm-hmm. So you can be like A, B, C, D, E. Go see show D, go see show E, and it'll be, a total of like 64 plays or something like that.
Yeah.
At the end of every night, you vote on your favorite 2. Or you don't actually, what you do is it's ranked choice, so you number them 1 to 8.
Yeah.
The highest 2 scores move on to the finals.
Sure.
And there's
I saw a
finals.
show like this. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, well, it was just real high, real low. You know what I mean? Like, there were both. It was a bummer that my friend was in the objectively worst one. Like, I mean, just bad.
Yeah.
But the last one made me cry. And it was just like 8-minute scene. I was like, I am gay. This is crazy.
That's what we're kind of learning here is that you're a little gayer than me.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can accept that.
Like, I'll suck a dick, but I'm not crying in an 8-minute play.
Well, it was, and I said that to someone and they kind of froze up at me. I was like, I just told you I cried at a play, had an emotional moment with theater. I'm making fun of the guy who's uncomfortable with that when I say that. You know what I mean? Like, that joke is 100%
totally.
making fun of the masculinity.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think you should say that. I was like, we should just never talk again, actually. We should. It's so frustrating to be like,
know.
I'm on your side. Go, arms down. Like, just relax. It was so good. It was about a brother and a sister. And the sister was off to college, brother's in high school. She's visiting for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the day after their dad's like a turd, just abusive guy in the play. And you find out through the course of the conversation that he had called her the F slur the night before.
Okay.
And like, this is the first time he'd ever done that. He'd always been supportive when she came out. And she's basically talking about how it's going to suck to come home forever now, to know that he's ever thought or said that. She doesn't want to bring her girlfriend home. And the thing that kind of made me cry was the younger brother who was, maybe he was autistic coded. I didn't really get that as much, but I could see it. That was what someone else told me. And then but he was just very insecure and obviously lived under a tyrant of their father, in high school. And the line he said was, like, I don't want to be part of why coming home's bad or something like that. And I just like lost at this young boy who just didn't want to hurt his sister, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is my friend in a shitty one? And this is making me cry. I feel bad.
That's funny.
But I loved the theater.
That's sweet. Where and it was
Secret
in Queens.
Theater in Queens. Have you been there?
No.
Woodside? I don't know Queens at all. We got to produce there.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I loved the space. As soon as I got
awesome.
there, I was like, this is incredible.
And I love theaters that are in a community. I was just
We were
saying
talking
that
about
recently.
that,
Yeah. I saw this little play fest at this theater downtown called The Flea. Have you been?
No, but I'm not kidding. It affected me so profoundly. I've made a list of theaters and independent theater companies and places to produce stuff, and that's on there. Like, I went to the drama bookshop to be like, this is kind of out of your purview, but what I say, where are the places you would affectionately call a shithole? I need those.
Yeah.
I got a list for you. I know you have one too, but
anyway, I saw this play festival there that was like, I should have gone to more of it, but I didn't. But it was like, I think 10 5-minute plays that all played right in a row, and then you got to vote at the end of the show and rank them in that list, and then the next week got 10 minutes of that play.
Oh,
and
Serial, right? No, sorry. Keep going. It sounds like something I've heard, but
it just like kept going, and you would vote until one play gets fully produced, basically.
Cool. Serial is a thing that is like that, but it's like 10-minute plays every week. And if you win, you keep going, and it's more like a serialized play and less of a full production.
I want to go to that.
That sounds really cool, right?
Yeah.
I got to find it, but I've heard of it a couple of different times, and recently someone brought it up again.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is just going to be the Theater Roundup podcast.
Probably.
Yeah,
I can't shut up about
I was
it.
going to say the push-pull here. It's definitely going that direction.
I had a question.
Hit me.
What is a conspiracy theory that either... I want to get this as a clean take for a clip, actually.
We did this, but yeah.
We already did a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, you think we didn't land on the moon, and I think HW killed JFK.
Damn, I was excited to ask that.
It never ends, dude. It's just recursive.
Oh, God.
So sorry.
Well, what's the craziest conspiracy theory you've heard?
Oh, I literally my roommate today was watching a debate on it, that Jews invented porn for mind control.
I said conspiracy theory.
Right, my bad. All the evidence is there. Hollywood's using it.
Well, that's crazy.
Right? That's an outstanding, I don't understand that. How, Jews control the world, but it goes pretty fucking bad for them pretty much all the time.
Yeah, that's never quite made sense to me either.
Well,
well, I think part of it is that they think they control that narrative as well as a kind of
it's
cover.
fake. Yeah. Marx has a quote where he says, we're going to go real Brooklyn real quick. Karl Marx has a quote. He says, anti-Semitism is the fool's anti-capitalism. It's all the same stuff.
That makes so much sense.
It does,
Shout out
right?
to a king.
It's good. It's like, yes, you're so close. If you just go, instead of going, hey, it's this religious group, Christian people, you go, hey, it's the people with all the money doing this stuff.
That's true for every sort of phobia or whatever, or ism, or schism.
Because you should not be afraid of spiders, you arachnophobes. It's the capitalists. No, just talking to your son. You don't get it, Owen Jr. The spiders don't want to hurt you. The business owners do.
And that's true. The spiders really couldn't give a fuck about you.
No, they're our friends.
But it is like people who are racist will be like, eggs are too expensive. I don't make enough money at my job at Amazon. Trans people. Like, what?
Yeah, that's where the I think we talked about this, maybe not on mic, but like that's where like the Andrew Tates and the Ben Shapiro's like make sense. They diagnose real problems.
Yeah.
And they go, but over here is who you should hate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because when you watch those guys, you can tell it's who they really hate is themselves.
Well, of course.
I really want to like do one of Tate's courses. I think that sounds so fun.
Courses.
That's how he got lots of money and fame.
Oh, he sells like
How to Be a Man camps. Tell me that doesn't sound kind of awesome. If it wasn't,
that doesn't sound kind of. You will not catch me there.
No, it's video stuff. They do man camps, like retreats where you have old Navy SEALs yell at you and you lift a log and stuff. Sounds so fun to go and just to be with that group of people. It's the purest form of what you're saying about at work, where you're like people you have nothing in common with. Mm-hmm. I just want to hear these guys with knee replacements talk about how they're primal men and alphas. That sounds so funny to me.
I think I might have some fun there.
Yeah.
Not the way you're thinking.
Oh, yeah. You actually might be a hot
I think I might have fun there.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Because they're all secretly gay.
Yeah, not even secretly, dude.
Right. Just like, what's the word? Like
self-loathingly?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. They had to burn a cigarette on themselves every time they talk to you. Yeah. I don't know why I just pictured this, but you trying to butch it up just to go into more places, see how long you could last of mad hetero presenting.
I think I'd be fine. I was in a play recently and everyone was like, you were straight. They thought I was straight.
I guess, yes. You aren't super like femmed up or
Sure.
campy.
I do sit with my knees crossed like this.
Yeah, this you can just learn to let your hips relax.
And then sometimes I sit like this.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm curious, like, if you... I don't know. I just picture you... There's a bar back home that... I'm not going to name it because what they do is they let you smoke cigarettes inside.
Work.
And because they use aluminum foil as ashtrays, so if the cops come, they just close them and throw them away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it smells like cigarettes, but, like, what are they going to do? Dig through your trash to find... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's... But I don't know why. I just really
Why
pictured
is that
you...
not allowed?
What do you mean?
Smoking
inside?
I think we should have... If people want to smoke inside, let them. Not at all places, but a bar like this, sure.
Right.
People can go there to smoke.
I think there are clubs. It has to be a private club, I think, is a thing, because it has a public self.
Because there's like hookah.
Yes.
Hookah.
That's a good point. Hookah, however you say that.
I don't know.
I could be right. But I just picture you walking in there in, a Carhartt and like a camo. I don't know why it made me laugh so hard. Of you going in, because you'd be doing drag as these guys. That's what I'm picturing.
Well,
Do you know what I mean? Like straight drag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, right now, I feel like if you look closely, I have a little bit of an eyeliner going on. You can't tell?
No. You talking about circles under your eyes?
No, like actual like eyeliner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like it makes me look a little mysterious, but it's actually just because I can't get it off. I was in full drag yesterday getting ready for this show. Me and McKenna had to take some promo pictures in practice.
Oh, you're going to be fully dragged up for the show?
Yeah.
Great. I thought there was a non-zero chance that you playing an interesting sister just as yourself. I thought there was a non-zero you'd go up there and be an interesting sister, but that's funny to be dragged up for it too.
Yeah. I mean, for this one coming up, we're just doing like a little bit, like suggestion. Yeah. But for the one at the end of April, we're doing like full out. Yeah.
Do you know the first time I got paid to do stand-up was at a drag show?
Really?
Great. It was May 4th, so it was Star Wars Day.
Right.
Star Wars themed drag, and they hired me. I drove up to Columbus. I was in college. It was awesome. I learned that what a hyper queen is. I think
I don't even know that term.
woman who does drag, like
Oh.
woman who femme drags too. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
Sure.
that's what they called it there. There's a beautiful woman who did. It was so funny because
I feel like typically they're called AFAB queens.
that makes sense. You think in Columbus we were in 2018 on top of the terminology, like whatever it was.
Hyper queen.
They called her hyper queen because it was a woman doing drag, but that makes sense. But she was gorgeous and incredibly attractive and fit. And then she did Jabba the Hutt and did her whole thing in a sleeping bag. I was like, hilarious
That's
that you
really
are the
good.
hottest person in this bar.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna go ahead and frump it up for this for like a usually pretty revealing art form. But all
And
these
then they were like, up next to the stage,
Jabba
Jabba the...
Wait, you were. But how do you? Well, no, I was the only comic. They had comics every few. Maybe it was between every queen, so they had more time to like set for the next. Maybe.
change and, yeah.
But
Sweep up all the glitter off the floor.
lick up the cum. Yes, that's what they think. That's what happens at drag shows, right?
You lick
People
up the cum.
Yeah, people
you
come
lick it
and
up.
then they make straight people lick it up. That's why don't want kids there. I mean, that makes sense.
That's why I want kids there. Because I'm a groomer.
Well, we won't cut that one into a TikTok, but just that's.
I'm being very out of pocket today.
I'm a big fan.
I don't
dude.
know what's going on.
I got you comfortable talking about theater for 20 minutes, and now you're in your skin. I'm gonna ruin you in 6 months.
It's
That's
true.
That's the plan, is for us to ruin each other.
Yeah.
But I was the only comic who did Star Wars stuff. Everyone else just went up in their fucking jeans and ball cap and were like, "So I've been dating an Asian woman," or whatever guys
Classic.
do. Yeah. And I went up and I had black shoes, long black socks, black short, black tee, and I went up as a stormtrooper who's doing an open mic night. So I did all jokes that were about like the Emperor and jokes. I only did like 5-10 minutes.
I
of
love
something
that.
short. Super fun, horrible jokes. You know what I mean? Like
Will you give me
corny as
one?
shit. Couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you a single one anymore. You know what I mean? But I remember, and they were so appreciative that I was like part of the thing. Like
Right,
I
not
tried to
just
contribute
outside
to the
of
show.
it. Yeah.
And nowadays I probably would just say I'm probably not gonna. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that now that I'm more like established in my comedic voice and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's like good to challenge yourself, and it was fucking fun. And these people
That's almost like
crushed.
doing a character.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that at that time. That's all I did was a character.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. That's fun. I wish you had a video or something. I would have loved to see
Thinking
that.
about thinking back, there's a lot of those things where I wish I'd have just set my phone up and recorded. You know. But yeah, my first time ever getting paid for comedy was at a drag show. I'm an ally, contrary to popular opinion and
He's a
most of the
good
things
boy.
that come out of my mouth.
He's
I
a good
am.
boy.
Hashtag yes my shield. Okay.
What does that mean?
It's hashtag not your shield. It's like when there'd be they try and get mad at someone and their co-host be like, "Hey, you see how I'm sitting right here as a queer person or as a minority, or they'd be like, or someone who's in an interracial relationship, they'd say hashtag not your shield, right? This kind of thing where they're like, that you can't use that. You still said something problematic. So the joke was hashtag yes my shield. I was just
I think I follow.
okay. I'm glad you're a good follower.
Good boy.
Good boy. I couldn't do it. Couldn't say it out loud.
So what else is up? I really just had the conspiracy theory question to bring to the table today.
Really prepped. You're like, I have some ideas, and it's the one you already asked last
I had
week.
some ideas for the episode we were going to record next week.
No, my roommate is actively cleaning right outside the door, which I love.
I bet you can't hear it on mic.
Oh no, I'm not being. I'm being genuine. I love when someone else cleans.
Yeah.
Because I'm comfortable with whatever level of filth you want. I'm not like the worst. I've had roommates that are I had roommates. Oh my god, my sophomore year. I told you about that when we all lived with a 21-year-old in a dorm in a quad, right?
I think you did.
He went and played semi-pro hockey for 2 years, came back, was 21 as a freshman. So sophomore year, we had a 22-year-old in our fucking dorm. It was
I'll
great.
tell you what, I would have fallen in love with him.
You absolutely would have, dude. Dan O'Leary was his name. You actually might have.
His name was Dan O'Leary.
Dan O'Leary.
That's my dad's name.
And he was, very masculine, a little older, played, goalie for hockey for a few, kind of bro-y, kind of gross, like kind of that boy next door stuff
Then
you're
maybe
talking about.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Depends on your age gap, I guess.
Right.
But he.
That's what I was saying. Freshman year, if I lived with the
Oh, I see.
21-year-old.
Yeah, he was. But we.
I famously only dated people much older than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That first guy in high school that I said I was my first love, I was 15 and he was 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do. Well, yeah, I get it. I like older.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's younger than me now, but I think she's only.
She's
ever
12.
She's my girlfriend.
Not your woman friend.
But they were gross in that. It was 4 of us, and they all 3 of them were in a fraternity, different fraternities from each other. All 3 of them rubbed tobacco.
Oh.
I said rubbed, and your eyebrows went up. Like, interesting. What
What
did
did
these
they
men
rub? I'm listening.
What do you call? Is it chew tobacco? How do you
I
describe
would
mouth
say,
tobacco?
Yeah, chewing
Mouth
tobacco.
tobacco. Solid tobacco. Smoke. Yeah,
Dip.
rubbing, dipping, rubbing. But they all did it multiple times. It like would spill under the couch. Like, you guys do.
Oh God. That's disgusting.
The worst is, the rule is, if you're going to have a spitter, it's got to be something clear. That's the rule. Water bottle, Gatorade bottle. That is how it works. It has to be clear.
Otherwise,
What happened to me when I was... Yeah,
Max,
yeah.
no.
Went to,
No, Max.
I was playing
no,
Xbox.
stop
Yeah.
talking.
Went to play... I was playing Xbox.
Max,
with
no.
my cousin. Stop. Don't go in there. You're at a movie theater in Harlem. No, don't do it. Stop. But he... Yeah, my cousin and I both... I had a Diet Coke. We had Diet Cokes. And we were
Oh.
playing Modern Warfare on the same...
Oh
and I just went to
God.
grab, and I go, why is this warm?
Oh.
I drank his spit.
Oh no. Oh no. That's really bad.
Yeah, I had to go outside and like vomit. It was the fucking
That's
worst.
really bad.
And that's like really common. That's why everybody knows. And he was like, oh my God, I just, it was all I was drinking. All I had was my Coke can. I'm so sorry. Like, he knew immediately he fucked up by not going and getting a water bottle.
Yeah.
I have so many memories of coaches growing up, or like friends' dads in their like trucks being full of empty Gatorade bottles. I'm like, why is that in here? And then I get older, I was like, it's just in case. Like, they need it.
Yeah.
And it's also something you can screw tight, so if it falls, you don't get tobacco. Oh God, dude, my stomach kind of hurts.
Yeah. That's
Remembering that.
That's why I said no, Max. No, don't do it, Max. Please, no.
Oh,
That's what that was
my bad.
about.
I didn't get it. Okay.
That's terrible. I had a roommate freshman year who had a giant poster of Kanye West the size of his wall.
And you're young enough that that's already a bit much, right? He'd already gone a little crazy at that point.
No, that was in 2016, 2017. It was past his like prime moment.
But he was Trumpy at that point.
No.
He went in Trump's first term, so
Was he?
yeah, he went to the
I
White
guess
House.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Whatever. I just was trying to
That
get a
was really-
feel for like.
Isn't that right around when he did the whole like poop diddy scoops?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this roommate, first of all, I walked in on him masturbating once and it was really awkward.
Perfect.
He was like this bodybuilder from China who played basketball, and I walked in on him, his back to the door, headphones in, laptop out, and it was this absolutely giant blonde woman. Giant.
Like bodybuilder giant? Like, is that what you mean, or tall?
Full bodied.
Oh, me. It was
With
me.
A scrawny little guy, fucking her. Anyway, that's besides the point.
You're just mesmerized by it.
It's seared into my memory.
So he's
Just
sitting
'cause,
on the
like,
bed, or is he standing?
He's sitting at his desk.
All right, dude. What?
Crazy
Crazy.
vibes. Well, I mean, I get it's tricky when there's 3 of us in the same room. It's a Friday night. We were just stopping at home to get these like, I don't know, fucking shooters or whatever from my fridge. I'm usually out every weekend night. Like, you're not going to see me. But I just happened to come home right at this time.
Did he come buckets?
Oh my God. Anyway, this isn't even the story I was trying to tell. The story I was trying to tell is how he spilled a gallon of milk in our fridge and never cleaned it up to the point where it dried and was like crunchy anytime you put something away. But then the principle of it, I was like, I'm not fucking cleaning the milk up. I guess I probably should have. because it was
No.
just like crunchy,
Right,
dry
it made
milk
your
fridge.
life worse, but also the indignancy. Sometimes that shit burns clean. Like it probably annoyed you every time, but it probably also energized you to write a new song. Like every time it crunched, like I have a new
Yeah.
new motivation.
Oh God, he was the worst. I hope you're dead.
I hope a giant blonde lady never fucked
Crushed
you.
you. I hope you finally got your dream and it killed you.
Oh, that's great. I'm
I'm out of pocket today. I'm out of pocket. I can't. Somebody stop me.
my roommate freshman year, pretty sure jerked off in the showers.
Mm-hmm.
And I, about 2 months into college, was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna jerk off when you're in here. He's a heavy sleeper. I had the bottom bunk.
Sure.
I do not care. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, what a crazy time to put us all in the same room.
and we just got assigned from a computer. I didn't even know this guy. Like,
Exactly.
have I told you the one bedroom I shared when I first moved to the city? So, male model.
Yeah,
lived with?
you did.
Oh, I did tell you this,
But
story.
not on mic. Tell me again.
Well, I lived with it was a friend of my cousin's, so we knew each
How
other.
about I react like it's the first time I'm hearing it? Exactly.
Well, he
No. He?
he was an actor
Okay.
at WVU, and we moved together, and we shared a one bedroom apartment where our beds were next to each other. Like I slept on I slept on a sleeping bag on the floor, and then I got a mattress that was also on the floor with no sheet. I just used my my sleeping bag as my pillow, and he was up on like a nicer like bed, and we're like T-boned. Do you know what I mean? So my feet were by his
Yeah.
waist basically,
Mhm.
and there was his closet was behind him, mine was next to me. There was no room, none.
That's
like our beds
crazy.
touched.
Max, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, and that was when I was working 2 jobs. Right, I was working 9 to 5, doing stand up, and then bouncing 3 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
I came home regularly, like women in the bed with him, and I was like, "Well, I'm home now, so this is over." Like, or you wait for me to fall asleep and keep having sex. Like, there became girls that I knew over the like, "Hey Max," like, "No, I don't need this. We don't need to be friends. Thank you for." But I came home, and I'd work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and I'd bounce Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So by the end of Friday night, I'm getting home at 2 a.m. I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
you're
I had
fucking
2
tired.
doubles, and I'm gonna have to work that night. So I'd sleep till like 3 or 4 every Saturday. Well, I came home, and his mom, his stepdad, and his 2 little sisters who were in middle school were in the living room. And I came home, and I wanted to fall asleep, wanted to take myself to dinner. And so I do, right? I start to, feel around. How do you like that for a euphemism? And, I'm going with the flow. Seeing how
No,
things
Max.
are.
No. No, Max, no.
I hear him he moves a little bit. And so I go, all right, we can go chill mode for a little bit. Give it a sec. Just kind of sit there. Go back to it. All right. I'm gonna make sure I'm not waking him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not like vocal with myself, so it wasn't like I had to. And he like rustles again.
Just go. Get to the end of the story.
He rustles again. I'm like, shh, you gotta spook him. Like, don't wake him up. And then third time he goes, dude. I go, you've been awake the whole time. He was trying to like make moves, so I
my God.
stopped. And then, dude, I'm awake. I go, yo, where do you want me to do this? Your mom, your 2 teenage sisters, and your dad are out there. You go out there until I'm done.
Yeah.
Or go to bed.
Right.
And so I'll put headphones in. I'm like, yeah, fucking roll over.
Whoa.
I'm a man who pays rent. I'm not going to not jerk off because you want
That's
your family
true.
to stay.
That's true.
He told that story on stage, bringing me up once back in West Virginia to like embarrass me. I was like, you remember how you rolled over and took it? What am I embarrassed about?
That's true. You got alpha.
It's my apartment now,
Yeah.
dude.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Why?
I
Where'd
thought
you think
like
it was
the
going?
mom is going to walk in
Oh,
or
no.
something like
It was
that.
like 3 a.m. It was after I got off from bouncing, so I was in no mood
I see.
to not,
And you sleep
Start
a
the
little
engine.
better, and yeah.
Yeah, you fall asleep immediately.
One time I was an RA. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story, but we'll see how it goes.
What are you gonna do? Take away your scholarship?
They're doing room checks. We were doing room checks for people who were moving out, and we had like a list of early people who were moving out. And this one guy came down and like gave me the key, and we have to go up to the room with them and make sure everything checks out. Which doesn't make sense because there's still people living there because they're the early people who are leaving.
Oh, I see.
So we go up to his room, and it's like they had these like anyway, half the room is like open on the ceiling to the common area because there's no air conditioner in their room. So it's like the living room has like half a wall.
I don't understand. We mean living room in a dorm. I'm sorry.
It's an apartment style. They're all apartment style.
Okay, great. That makes more sense.
So there's like a living room, kitchen, and then 2 rooms connected. Each one would have 2 people in it.
Okay.
But one of those connected rooms has like a ventilation gap. So it's like open.
Got it.
Anyway, he lived in that room, and the people, his like roommates were like playing video games in the living room. And then I go to open his door and it was locked. And I was like, okay, weird. Like I have the key in my hand. So I just unlock the door and open it. Naked guy jerking off in bed in his room. And I'm like, sorry, and close the door. And he goes, well, you should have knocked. The guy's standing with me. And I'm like, it's your bedroom. And you came downstairs to bring me up here. What do you mean I should have knocked? If you knew there was any chance of a naked guy masturbating in this bedroom, you shouldn't have brought me up here in the... What do you... How crazy is that?
That's awesome.
Meanwhile, I'm like, so you're just laying completely naked in bed jerking off with the ventilation gap with your roommates out here playing video games? Very Max move, I suppose.
I'm very on team.
And I guess like live your life, but it is kind of like, what's going on? What, you guys get it together.
The funniest part of that is that he didn't think to go, hey man, turn in my keys. We're probably gonna come check out the place here in 5 minutes. No conversation.
Or it's like, if I try the handle and it's locked, maybe touch my shoulder and be like, hey, let's give it a sec.
Or for you. Knock for you. Maybe it was part of their little game.
And maybe it was. I have it burned into my memory. I can see his ball sack in my mind.
Who was bigger, him or your roommate?
Him or my roommate?
Yeah, didn't you say you also saw your roommate's dick? I was just making a connection there. Your Asian roommate?
Oh. I technically didn't see his dick because his back was to the door. So I just saw the big blonde woman bouncing around.
Oh, that's so good. So in a quad that year, 4 of us, I was bottom bunk.
Mm-hmm.
And, first night of the year, I had to work like the first Sunday or something like that. So Friday and Saturday, we got drunk together or whatever. But that Sunday, I was like, yeah, before class starts, I got to work, so I'm going to bed early that Saturday night. And I was like, can you guys just be in the other room for 10 minutes? Like, just let me fall asleep. I'm a heavy sleeper, but I have a little bit of trouble falling asleep sometimes, right? And they're like, yeah, we're not going to be too loud for you. I was like, no, I promise you won't. Because I used to get, like, on basketball buses in high school, I had friends that would give me monkey bubbles. Like, do you know that? Where you can hit someone like that and it'll swell up pretty hard. Anyway, because it's like it doesn't matter. But I woke up with bruises from getting punched because I just was asleep on buses. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the first day, they get hammered. And I wake up with shoes and trash. And they'd been throwing shit at me when I got drunk to be like, you're not messing with us right now? Like, they thought I was... They got to the point that they wouldn't wake me up for fire alarms. Because it never was fire. It was always someone who couldn't cook popcorn. Mm-hmm. So they would go. But the guy who was on top of my bunk was like a pretty fit guy. And got laid. It was weird, dude. He would like come home blacked out with a girl less drunk than him and be like, are you bringing a girl here to rape yourself? Like, it was too much, you know? Like, he could not see or talk.
Yeah.
And he... Like, there's 2 of them. One, I was on the bottom, and it was enough to wake me up, which is like, the fire alarm doesn't wake me up. Like, they are moving the fucking bed, and I'm just sitting there. I'm, like, literally sitting there rocking in my bunk. I'm like, fuck. So
weird.
Yeah, so I, like, get up and go out into the like, because it was a quad, so it was, like, the 4 beds in one room and, like, a little TV and some desks in the other. And I go out there, and the older roommate, Dan, is like, how are you just now waking up? Like, I was like, dude, that's crazy. Go to take a leak, sit there and watch whatever he's watching for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to bed, dude. I'm not like that. Go to hers. I don't need this. So I go back in, and he goes, shh, and they like stop as I come in, and then he goes, what's up, man? I go, hey, Brad. I'm like, lay down, and like my head touches the pillow and it starts going again. I was like, you couldn't wait a second longer. And after a minute, I go, Brad, buddy, you got to stop or I'm coming up there. Like, those are your two options. And then one time it was a different girl, and I wasn't there for this, but he was the other guy on the other top bunk. So he's on top on the top bunk, and a girl looks over and sees our roommate has puked in his bed and is like laying like this. She goes, "Oh my God, is he okay?" And they stop, and he goes, "Yeah, his head's to the side. He's fine." Isn't it romantic?
We deserve nuclear bombs to be dropped on the entire world. We don't deserve this life. That's my takeaway.
Yeah,
from that.
that's. Oh God, that's fucking college experience in Ohio for you right
That's
there.
crazy.
It was crazy how drunk this guy would come home with like beautiful women. I'd be like, "You could do way better, ma'am." Like, this guy smells like pee right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel walking around the East Village in New York. There's no offense. Well, no, they're short usually, so this counts you out. But there's usually like kind of a millennial-looking like bearded guy in like a button-up flannel, and then just the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in my life holding his hand, towering above him, and I'm like, "What are you doing, ma'am?"
I'm not. I'm not of any illusion. My girlfriend is much more attractive.
She's
than me.
gorgeous.
She's so out of my league.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. And she does not believe me. I was like, "I need you to have more confidence, but I need you to wait a little bit. I need you to like, really be in love with me first."
Yeah, we got to get a ring on the finger, and then we're gonna gas you up.
Yeah, we're definitely going to therapy for
Yeah.
like your self-image. Yeah, it's unreal how attractive she is.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And yeah, she's like, but you're like tall and fit. I'm like, I'm tall. I'm strong. I'm really funny. Like, I got stuff going for me. That shit, when we're holding hands on the block, you can't tell all the other stuff I got going for me.
But don't worry, because no one's looking at you. They're all looking at her.
Dude, we get people talk to us. Black dudes especially want to like, "Oh, you took one of ours, man." Like, really come at it. I'm like, "All right, well, this feels like you want me to say something." Old black ladies love seeing us.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it is. Oh God, what was I gonna say? You said, about her being out of my league. Is that like a? Damn it! I completely lost it. Completely lost what was
That's
related
okay.
to that. Yeah, my bad.
That's okay, Buki.
Oh, Sunday was her mom's birthday.
Okay.
So we went to a bar 4 blocks from here with her mom, her aunt,
I met her mom
her uncle.
at your taping.
Yeah, she's great.
We just said hi. We didn't like.
Exchange numbers.
Yeah.
But she was great. But it was.
I swear.
His type is his boyfriend and big titted goth Latinas.
Get
okay.
it straight.
Get
What were
It
you
Straight
gonna
would
say?
be a good name for a podcast. Anyway, her birthday, and we go, and when I get
I
there,
think that already is a. Oh no, it's Maddie Morphosis. She's this straight drag queen, and her podcast is called "Give It to Me Straight."
it's a good name. First of all, don't
Listen
listen
to
Listen to us.
I mean, don't listen to that.
What's a straight drag queen? What does that mean? Like a straight heterosexual man who does drag? Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't know if that then meant when they
Although
were in
there's
drag
been
day.
discourse about it because like there was a while that he like lived as a woman and then was like, actually, I think I am a man. So it's like you're part of the community. Get in here.
You've at least lived the experience.
Exactly. That's how I feel. It's like you've experimented, you figured shit out. You're okay with us.
Cool. But that's I also wondered if it meant when in drag fucked exclusively hetero dudes. That's what I thought a straight queen meant.
No,
Like goes about his life, happy and
no, he
and
has
whatever kind of queer.
he's a man who has a girlfriend, and he does drag for a living.
That's awesome. I would love for him to just like have their arguments on stage in his act. He's just being his girlfriend. But I got there and it was a bunch of people I don't know with her family. And one looked at me, she goes, "You weren't lying. You do have a big one." I was like, "This feels." Stop. I need to cover up more. Do you get on with your... I'm not great with partners' parents. Is the way I should put that. Are you good with your partner's parents?
Yeah.
Me and the current, good. We get along really well. But I set up pretty hard boundaries. I'm not afraid to tell someone... I'm not afraid to tell my own family. Like, the way I talk to my mom, people do not love. Because we talk I've talked to her like an adult since I was like 15.
Okay.
Like we have an adult relationship in terms of we fuck. But no, it's like, I can tell my mom like, don't call me.
Okay.
Like we had a rule pre-pandemic. It was like, you can't call me unless you haven't heard from me in 3 days. Then you can call me, but like stop. You're too much.
Oh.
Or like we set pretty hard boundaries where she's like, yeah, you're an adult. Like where I think people have a hard time doing that nowadays. They just ignore their parents or whatever. But on the flip side of that, my mom knows a lot. Like I share a lot with her and as a close friendship type relationship.
Yeah.
But because of that, like when someone's like lets their parent affect their mood, I've had friends be like, yeah, my dad's being a real dick and da-da-da. Said, what? And you're telling me. You know who you should tell, right? You know you should look at it and say, stop fucking talking to me like that. The person who pushed you out of them. And
But there's nuance to it.
disagree. And here's why. I think people who treat their parents with kid gloves are actually doing their parents a disservice.
Do you have siblings?
No.
Right.
Not a one. I know that's different.
It's a ripple effect. It affects everyone. Like if me and my mom get in a fight, then everything's in discord.
Sure, but and my mom, I also don't have a dad or a stepdad too, so it is
Right.
really is one-on-one. I get that, but I'm going to use you for an example, and not actually say this is what's happening. But let's say you and your sister, you have one sister, right?
A sister and a brother.
So let's say you, your sister, and your brother, all just switched and treated them like equals. It would hurt for a couple years probably for them, and it would be hard for all of you. But at the end of that, your parents would have a fuller, better life because they would see you, warts and all. I think some of the kid gloves, some of the hiding stuff from parents, while yes, what you're doing is short-term alleviating any uncomfortability, any of the growing pains on both sides. But for that, they don't get to actually see who their kid has become.
Yeah.
Does that make any kind of sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why people don't do it. I also told my mom when I was 14 to stop being a bitch to me because the long story short is I was asking a question about my dead dad, and she took that as an opportunity to like mother me and like kind of talk down on him. I was like, I don't need that. And in the morning when I woke up, things were weird. And I looked at her and said, hey, Mom, what I said last night, I meant that was not appropriate for you to do. And that's not the moment. There was no the moment. But that's my like go-to of like, you're gonna treat me right. I'm going to treat you right. And that's the end of it. There's no like, I don't know how to phrase it. But I have especially POC friends do not like how I talk to my mom. I'd get my ass beat. I'd be like, and I would never talk to my mom again if she tried to beat my ass. So she knows what the fuck it is, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm horrible. I'm horrible when you get in a fight with your parents. I'm not the one to talk to about it. Because my advice is going to be, okay, what would you do if your boss said that to you?
Sure.
What would you do if a friend at a bar said that thing to you?
Mm-hmm.
Or your brother or your sister? You know what I mean? Like I'm awful when someone comes to me about, like I had, I'm going to bleep this, but, you know,
Redact.
dad was crying about her dad once. And I was like, what are we doing here? Like...
Bro, you just gotta wait that out.
Guy who lives in the middle.
That's gonna be good for you in the long run.
Wait, what?
She's crying about her dad when you first get there. By the end, you're gonna be having crazy sex.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be something diabolical in there.
There are comics that used to hang out the Grizzly Pear that I remember would do that. Like, you know, they're trying to sell tickets, but when a beautiful woman come by, I'd be like, "What's your relationship with your father like?"
Yeah.
It's upsetting how much that would work. Because the ones with bad relations would be like, well, but like, would it come talk to him? He's
Really?
Like, yeah, he's like, yeah, anyone who's like offended by that question or don't want to answer, like, I got no shot with that bitch tonight. Like,
Right.
I need someone who knows they got issues. Oh, so overall,
How
buddy,
long? Yeah, how long have we been talking?
Hour and 4. We're doing it. I hate. Oh, we're unionized in Juilliard. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
It's awesome. We're getting the stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna get a vote or not, but let's do it. Overall, unionize.
Overall, unionize.
Overall, theater does make you gayer.
Overall, it's just overall.
Yeah,
It's overall. Overall, I'm not gonna bring that back up.
What? The date older men?
No, I would say that overall, maybe don't date older men. Overall, have patience when ordering at Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Well, thanks.
Overall,
Thanks for listening. I don't think we need.
I've got one more.
Oh, okay.
Overall, masturbate while your roommates are in the room.
Overall, we're just playing. We're just discovering our bodies.
Yeah.
Best part about kissing is you both get practice, right? Best part about
yeah.
jerking off is everyone can be involved.
Overall, take yourself out to dinner.
You like that, right?